Good evening, fiends. Welcome to another episode of Sinister Parlor Podcast. I'm Zombie Barbie, and tonight's special guest is writer, director, producer, and actor Jed Bryan. And we're going to be talking about his film Unlisted Owner. How are
Thanks
you?
for having me. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm glad you could make it. And I've
Yeah,
actually
well,
seen the film.
that's awesome. Well, I'm glad because some people, like I told you earlier, they haven't seen it. And I mean, I still do an interview, but it's sometimes it's a little awkward or different. But yeah. And plus there's not that much going on right now anyways with the whole COVID thing. So we're all just kind of
Oh.
hunkering down and just gonna ride the storm out, see what happens. Hopefully we can start making some more movie stuff soon.
Hopefully. Well, it's like now we're all doing it in quarantine, which it's good, but it's
Hmm.
like, I know a lot of people are so ready to get back out there and get on set and get shit going.
Yeah. Yeah, me being one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are you working on? Are you working on something new?
Yeah, actually, PJ Starks, who did the Volumes of Blood franchise, he's doing a horror anthology called 13 Slays Till Christmas or Xmas. And he asked me to write and direct one of the sequences for it. So we actually shot ours in February. So everything's like wrapped filming wise, and we're in the post production part of it. But
Mhm.
it's supposed to be, I think, 13 or 14 different stories. I think there's just 13 of them, but I can't remember if the main one that ties them all together, if he's counting that as a separate one or not. But anyways, I guess there's only
Oh.
three that have been actually filmed out of the 13 different
Oh,
stories, mine
shit.
being one of them. Yeah. And I was supposed to, I was going to come down and maybe have a cameo in PJ's, and he had to delay his. So that kind of really derailed a lot of stuff. So I'm sitting here setting with, something that's we're in post on. Everyone else hasn't even had the chance to film theirs yet. So we're just kind of waiting in the wings and see what
Dang.
happens. And then I guess it was a few weeks ago, a filmmaker out of Los Angeles, his company's ACM Films, he just did a little short that's entitled Outbreak. And I actually got to have my wife and my son and myself, we all got to be in like this little project. It's on YouTube. It's pretty neat. It's like basically kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers type,
Oh,
like a
shit.
little bit of homage to it. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. It was a neat little thing to be able to do something with my wife and son.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how cute. You'll have to
Yeah.
send me the link to it so I can
Yeah, for
link it to
sure.
this interview too, so people can
Yeah.
go check it out.
Yeah, for sure. And my wife and son, I thought they were going to have their film, like their acting debut in my short for PJ's film. But then with the whole COVID thing, uh, the filmmaker in Los Angeles got a hold of me and said, "Hey, do you want to do this thing?" So I guess that's their acting debut as an Outbreak. So
I mean, it totally fits, It's like what we're
yeah,
going
yeah,
through.
exactly. Yeah. It was like a collective project with a whole bunch of actors and actresses and filmmakers from all over the U.S. just sending like little clips for this thing. So Alex did a really good job of editing it together. So I'm excited to see what you think of it.
Cool. Yeah. Hell yeah. I'll check it out as soon as, yeah, send me the link and I will definitely check it out.
Okay, awesome.
That's exciting. Yeah. PJ is super cool too. He's
Oh
awesome.
yeah,
I'm excited to see
yeah,
that too.
yeah. It should be pretty awesome. There's quite the lineup of directors and actors in it, so I'm pretty excited to be a part of it. It's kind of funny. The first time I ever met PJ was at Days of the Dead in Indianapolis. I happened to bump into him in the bathroom.
Oh shit.
but yeah, I think he's about like 2 hours from me, so it's not too bad of a drive. So like for me to come down and be a part of one of his projects and stuff like that, so it's pretty close.
Damn. Where are you at?
A little town called Sumner, Illinois. It's about an hour and a half from Evansville, Indiana. We're that little part of Illinois that goes like this into Indiana. So on the
Oh,
easternmost part. So that's us, middle of nowhere.
cool. That's neat though. It's cool to see
Yeah.
that, there's filmmakers coming from everywhere now.
Oh
Before it was
yeah.
just LA. And it's like now
Yeah.
it's blossoming to every part of the United States. It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a cool like movement to be a part of because when I first started Unlisted Owner in 2011, I had no clue how to get a movie distribution. The only thing I
Mhm.
read online was film festivals, and some can be very hard to get into.
Mhm.
And it's just amazing how much stuff has evolved since then, like all the information out there, plus, all the indie filmmaker networks where people are telling you like their stories of what's happened and stuff like that. When I first started, there was none of that. It was just like, okay, we're just going to go for it and see what happens.
Yep. Cross your fingers.
Yeah. Correct. Hopefully someone watches it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super. Yeah. It's way easier now. I mean, it's not easy, but it's easier to get out there, because now, we do have the internet and we have tons of festivals, and it's like, honestly, Facebook connects so many people. You don't realize what a small, tight-knit community the horror genre is.
Yeah. It's amazing because it's like, oh, wow. So, this person too. It's just, it's so, interconnected, and the support system's amazing of how everyone kind of, has your back, and, you have loyal fans that, believe in not only the project, but also in you. And that just, really helps your drive and determination to make more creative stuff.
Definitely. Oh, how exciting. I can't wait to see them. Both of them.
Yeah.
So 2011 is when you made it, huh? Is that when you started writing it, or is that when you started filming it?
It's 11's when we started filming Unlisted Owner. It's been a little bit of a journey. So I came up with the concept in probably like July of 2011. We had a script, me and Tyler Landry's also acts in the film. We had a script knocked out by September, had locations, and everyone casted by October, and started filming in November.
Dang.
So, I guess October, November, we started filming. So, but yeah, then we shot the film. Like I said, it's my first feature. We edited the whole thing together and realized it was only 50 minutes. And I went, oh man. So we had to go back through, and I had a sequence, and I left out this road trip scene, and we also added in a beginning family scene. So with those both added in, it ended up being like 74 minutes. So we actually wrapped it in 13. And then we tried the film festival route for about a year, and then about a year and a half, I guess it was year and a half, and didn't get in any of the festivals, which was pretty disheartening. Yeah. And then I found out about the American film market in Santa Monica, California. Found it was like the week after I was already in LA. I'm like, well, this is not going to work. So I had to wait a whole year to prep to go to the American film market. Went there, showed it a few times out there, then had several distributors that were interested. And then we signed a distribution deal with our former distributor of Summerhill Films out of Phoenix in 2016. And then we had to, they gave us like a list of stuff that we had to do for it. And one of them was an M&E track, which is basically all the background sound separated from the dialogue of the actors. Well, mine's found footage. So that's all on the same track. So I had to recreate every single sound effect for the entire 74-minute film, which is terrible because a found footage film is different than a traditionally horror shot film because you have music. They cover a lot. Found footage, you don't have that luxury. It's every door creak, every, chair creak, footstep, all that has to be recreated. And I mean, we'd be out at like 3:00 in the morning and trying to get stuff, outside ambience and stuff like that. So cars weren't going by because we were in town in some of the scenes. And it was just like we get back to to our editing room, and then we put it in the editor and be like, oh my gosh, there's an air conditioner running.
Yeah, it's amazing what it picks up, huh? And you're like, fuck. I never would have noticed that.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, like it's just, it's making me anxious just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But we got all that done, and then it finally was released on DVD and streaming in 2017, and then we made the top 10 on Amazon for horror DVD in 2017, which was pretty awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
What, 6 years though? Shit.
Yeah, it was a long time, but I had already put all this effort into it, and I'm like, I'm going to get it out there some way. And there's nothing more frustrating than people who knew that you've been working on this thing since 2011 coming up to you when they see you, be like, hey, when's the movie coming out? You're just like, I'm working on it.
I'm trying.
Just bear with me a little bit. I'm new at this. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a learning curve for sure, but I feel now like before, the making the movie part was the easy part, getting it out there for everyone was the hard part, and now it's completely flipped.
Yeah. Well, that's good though. It's like at least you
Yeah,
didn't
it's
give
a
up
good
and you
thing.
kept
Yeah.
going, because it's so I actually watched it before I knew who you were.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'll go on to like Amazon and kind of like just scroll through and see what I find.
Uh-huh.
And I watched it then. So I want to say it was probably at least a year ago
Oh,
when I
that's awesome.
watched it. Yep. And then I saw somehow, however I connected with you on Instagram,
Hmm.
I saw it pop up. I'm like, that's really familiar. So then I clicked on it to watch it. I was like, holy shit, I have seen this. I know exactly who he is.
That's awesome. Yeah, it amazes me, like the amount of people who have like actually seen the movie. It's just, it blows my mind.
Hmm.
Like I get people that send me copies of the movie in the mail for me to like autograph and send back to them, which still like kind of blows my
Oh,
mind that that people
they
do
want your
that. But
autograph.
yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it still blows my mind to think that. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like especially the streaming platforms have both a positive and negative side. The positive side is people all over the world have seen what I've created, and
Hmm.
then the other downside is like how much you actually earn off of it.
I've been hearing the horror stories lately with like Distributor
Yeah,
and stuff
it's
like that. Were you part of that?
distributor, and then I mean, plus like say someone buys a copy of your movie, like physical copy off of Amazon. Amazon takes 55% right off the top as
Yeah.
for physical copy, and then if you do streaming, you're getting between like 1 cent and I don't even know what the max is, but it just depends on how much people are viewing it on Prime. So it's just and there's so much good content out there too that you're competing against.
Oh yeah.
But it's just I don't know. It's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be really hard on some of these bigger studios because with the streaming, you don't get paid that much on these platforms. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be
Yeah.
hard to book bigger name actors, I think, for your stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because everything is streaming now. You got Tubi,
Yeah.
Shutter.
Hmm.
Isn't there a thing called Slasher or something like that? What is
I,
it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Unlisted owners on POV Horror. So I mean, there's even a found footage streaming channel called POV Horror. So I
Oh,
mean, it's like,
cool.
yeah,
I didn't know
yeah. So
that.
there's all kinds of like different streaming channels, and that's another thing too. You got to think about. I mean, I switched from I gave up my regular TV and just switched straight to streaming platform
Hmm.
because that there was more stuff I wanted to watch on there. But now there's all these different streaming platforms popping up, and it's like if I get them all, it's going to be as much, if not more, than what I had on my TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Hold on for 1 second. Is my microphone working?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna edit this part out. I'm like,
Okay.
hold on. Okay. Back to streaming. So yeah, it's like amazing how much I mean, even on like Amazon, you can subscribe to CBS, Epics, what is it, Stars,
Hmm.
HBO, Cinema, all this shit. And like you said, I stopped with cable and I'm like, I'm fine with Netflix. I'm perfectly fine with Netflix. And now it's like all these fucking channels are coming on. I'm like, okay, I really want that channel.
Yeah. 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 And you're like, oh man, like I'm back to where I was at.
Exactly. If not more, it's like you're paying more for all these
Yeah.
channels.
Yeah.
So I noticed, okay, so you own Lawford County Productions, and
Yep.
then like the little cop, what is that thing? Where it like said Lawford County Sheriff's Department?
Oh yeah. The evidence placard things that come
Evidence
up.
block. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was cool. So did you do that to tie in your production company?
Yeah, yeah. So, like all my scripts that I've written, uh, all take place in this fictional county called Lawford County, and there could be like a Lawford County, Illinois. There could be a Lawford County, Tennessee, or Kentucky, or Indiana. I mean, Lawford County can be like it's kind of like like The Simpsons in Springfield. I mean, there's Springfields
Yeah.
all over the place. So, I kind of wanted to tie that in. Like, there could be a Lawford County anywhere because there is no Lawford County anywhere in the U.S.
There
So.
is not.
Yeah. No, and it's kind
Oh
of fun.
shit. That's cool.
Yeah, how I came up with the name is the county that I'm from is called Lawrence, and then the county north of me is called Crawford. And I get a lot of inspiration because there's a lot of wooded area, and it's just really creepy at night. And
Mm-hmm.
whenever I was younger and go out with my friends and we go drive around out in the country, it'd just be like really eerie, just like perfect horror movie setting. So I
Yeah.
decided to name my production company Lawford County. So that's kind of where that came from. And it's funny,
Nice.
someone sent me a thing the other day that they were typing up like Lawford County murders like on Google, and it was like,
Oh, shit.
yeah, it's like is Unlisted Owner a true story, and then Lawford County murders, and it's like, wow, people are actually looking up this fictional county that I made up on
That's
Google.
cool.
Yeah.
That's way awesome. In the beginning, I couldn't remember. Did it say based on true events?
No,
It
and that's
didn't?
one
Okay.
thing. Like a lot of people like think that. I think it's because we added that little text at the beginning. It was just basically kind of like a precursor to what's going to happen. Like basically, this is crime scene evidence. It's been edited, and all this stuff. So I think a lot of people, whenever they see that, they kind of tie that in, and that's what we were kind of aiming for, is to tie that into like whenever it says based on a true story.
Mm-hmm. Nice. It was good. So I was going to ask you originally, but then you kind of
Yeah.
answered my question. I was going to say, was your wife in this film? But then you said that the Outbreak one was her
Yeah.
debut. So
Yeah, that was her acting debut. So she actually was running the camera for it. So she was actually the camera operator and the actress in it. So because it's kind of like for the short, what we had to film was like a little bit of found footage, which we actually filmed with one of the cameras we used for Unlisted Owners. That was kind of cool.
that's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you? So she involved with Unlisted Owner?
No, we had known each other previous, but no, she wasn't involved with Unlisted Owner. But she, like I said, she acts in the short that I just shot for PJ. So, and I'm
Okay.
hoping, and she also does like special effects makeup and stuff. So I'm hoping, like I said, once this
Nice.
COVID thing gets kind of lifted, we'll be able to do some more stuff like that.
That'd be cool. Because I was wondering if maybe she did the camera or something for Unlisted, or if she did sound. I don't know if she did
Yeah.
something on it. You know?
Well, whenever we finally did get a deal for it, she was like she'd help me at signings and stuff like that, or
Mhm.
like help promote it, like street team type stuff. But yeah, she's been
Cool.
very very supportive of it, and like I said, we just our son Jace, who'll be 2 in towards the end of May. I got him like a little Unlisted Owner T-shirt, and we brought him to one
I
of the
saw
signings.
that.
So yeah,
That's so cute. I
so
was like, that's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah, so. Yeah, because it's amazing. Because whenever I shot Enlisted Owner, I was, single, wasn't married or anything like that, and now it's just
Okay.
amazing to see where it's kind of grown to now. So
Hmm. That's awesome.
yeah,
So I did do a little bit of stalking and I did look
oh,
at her special effects. She does really good. So are you going to use her to do special effects on your upcoming projects and
oh
stuff?
yeah, yeah, she's very very talented.
Hmm.
I think sometimes she doesn't give herself enough credit for the stuff she does, but yeah, I mean, she's like phenomenal. And I know right now she hasn't been able to really like practice as much as what she liked, but
Hmm.
yeah, she's very very talented. She's very like she watches YouTube videos and likes to learn. And we always go to the Trans World Haunt Show in St. Louis, Missouri. It's like,
Oh,
I think it's the world's largest haunted house convention.
cool.
Have like, I mean, animatronics and like monster puppets and makeup and special effects stuff. And one year we went, and a bunch of the guys from Face Off were there, and they did like a seminar and everything. It was so cool.
That's cool. They do some incredible work. So I
Oh
bet
yeah.
for her that was amazing to watch. She
Oh
probably
yeah,
loved
and
that.
you could ask them questions and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome thing. Unfortunately, they had to. I think they delayed it this year, which kind of sucks. But with given the situation, I completely understand. But yeah, it is probably one of the coolest like haunted the coolest haunted show I've ever been to. Like I mean, including cons and stuff like that. I mean, as far as like
Nice.
mask and makeup and animatronics, just it's like I was like a kid in a candy store.
Hmm. You're like, I want that and that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like to have that 8 foot tall animatronic.
Yeah, for like $5,000.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. You should, since you guys are in quarantine and she does the special effects, you should turn your cute little baby into a zombie.
We did. We tried to do the Jack Skellington makeup for
Oh,
Halloween, and he. it was just kind of smeared all over the place.
He's
And it
like,
was hard to
nope.
get it on. So we're hoping as he gets older, maybe he'll be a little bit more, relaxed and let, mommy do that type of stuff to him. So we'll see how that goes.
Perfect little guinea pig.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man. So for the casting, so I noticed everybody's names are the same. Like their
Mhm.
real names. Did you know these people, or did you do like a casting call? How did you get it casted?
So for unlisted owner, it's kind of weird. Like Gavin and I have been friends since probably, I don't know, like seventh grade, and then
Oh,
Tyler,
dang.
Tyler and myself, we've been friends since probably junior high school. And Gavin's brother is actually Griffin, which a lot of people don't know that.
Oh,
So, and then
okay.
I've known Andrea since high school. Yeah, so it was like basically, hanging
Dang.
out with your friends, which was a great experience. But and then
That's cool.
Heidi was acquainted with Andrea. They were friends at the time, and that's like we had this. Like when I wrote the script, Andrea had always told me she wanted to be in a movie, and then Tyler and Gavin, they had moved away at one point in time, and they were back in the area. And I said, "Well, I'm going to get something done. I need to do it now." So
Mm-hmm.
we came up with Unlisted Owner and decided to do it, and had Andrea on board. We were trying to find another female actress to play Griffin's girlfriend, and then she happened to know Heidi, so it all kind of fell into place. But yeah, there wasn't much of like an audition part for that. But then
Mm-hmm.
whenever we did the new family scene, I decided to put out a casting call. So we actually had people locally come and audition for it. So it was
Cool.
kind of neat. That was my first time doing a casting call. So that was
Mm-hmm.
a little thing. And then when I did 13 Slays, we posted it online, and we had quite a few submissions that we had to go through. There was a couple of them that wasn't sure which way we were going to go with, but it ended up working out really good with the cast we
Nice.
got for that. I'm excited for everyone to see it. It turned out awesome.
I can't wait to. That's so
Yeah.
cool. I
Yeah.
didn't know PJ lived by you too. I actually didn't know where he was from.
Yeah. He's from Owensboro, Kentucky. It's around Evansville. So
Oh,
he's like an hour from Evansville one way. I'm an hour and a half from Evansville, like the other way. So
wow. That's cool. That's so awesome.
yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
um, oh, I was gonna ask something about, oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, Tyler. So Tyler helped write it, right? So you guys were both
Yeah.
the writers on it?
Yeah. So I came up with the concept and like pretty much the structure of the story. And Tyler and we had wrote parts of it together in his apartment. And I was actually even from Vegas. So I told him like, okay, why don't you write this camping part? And then I'm going to finish up the rest of it. So that way I wouldn't have to do as much, since I was going to be going to Vegas and I need to get the script like finalized before we
Mm-hmm.
got into shooting mode. So that was kind of like how that worked out. And with Gavin, Gavin's been in all, well, he was in everything I had shot except for 13 Slays. But me and Gavin, we had done a GoDaddy commercial contest, and we got an eighth out of 539 videos for that. And then
Wow.
we did a teaser trailer for a script I have called Meth House. And you can find both those on YouTube on the Wofford County YouTube page.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's so cool. So you have a
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, it doesn't have that much content on it. We don't update we don't update on a regular basis to it or
Mhm.
anything like that. I just concentrate on writing and stuff like that. But yeah,
Mhm.
I'm excited about 13 Slaves though. It's going to be pretty cool. John Hale, who did the Conduits part of it, and I mean, there's so many great filmmakers. It's going to be pretty awesome.
That's exciting. That's like so many films too.
Yeah,
That's a lot
yeah.
of films to put
There's a
together.
lot. Yeah, a lot of shorts. Yeah.
How fun. Are you guys going to take it to festivals, do you know, or is it instantly getting
um,
distributed?
I think PJ said that we're going to try to do the festival route, but I don't know exactly all the details. I kind of, that's his part of the
Mhm.
plan there. But I'm just like to be able, because I know they were wanting to release it this Christmas, but I don't know if that's, hopefully it'll still happen, but time will
Yeah.
tell.
Because that would suck to have to wait a whole nother year until the following Christmas
Yeah.
if he wanted a Christmas release, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll just see what happens. We'll just roll with it and
Hmm.
see what happens.
You're like, at least you know yours is done, so you're good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just got to. There's a few things we got to tweak on it and add in some sound effects and stuff. And then Rocky Gray is supposed to be doing the musical score for it, which is pretty awesome.
Damn. That's super cool.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool. So the locations, that house was really cool. Where did you find that house?
It's a block away from where I've lived. So right on the main drag in town in Sumner. Ever since I was a kid, I always thought this was such a cool house to film at. Or for there to be like a scary story, or a haunted house be there or something like that. And
it's creepy.
It happened to be vacant at the time, and we contacted the owner, and he said, "Yeah, if you want to shoot in there, go for it." So we shot the whole movie, and there's people living in it now, but at the time, I mean, it was the perfect house for our story.
Oh yeah, because it was creepy as hell. It was beautiful, but it was fucking scary. That basement. Oh geez.
Yeah, it just has its like own vibe to it, and some nights it was really creepy because I'd be the last one to leave, everyone else would be gone, and I'd get all the way down, get in my truck, because I mean that house is actually 3-story. There's 3 stories to it, and the very top story, I'd get everything loaded in the vehicle, and I look up and the top light would be on. I go, oh.
Like, I gotta go back in.
I go all the way back up and turn the light off. So yeah.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't want to stay the night in there by myself. No.
Really? Do you think it's haunted?
I personally didn't experience anything, but the whole time we were filming there, like people would come up, like, we'd be getting ready to shoot and people would walk right in and like talk to us and tell us stories, like this one guy came in and he was, wanted to show us something in the house. And he said, yeah, my grandfather died in this room. And I'm just like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jeez. You're like, please don't tell me that.
Yeah. So, and then and someone else said they heard that someone hung themselves upstairs. I had no idea. I don't know if any of these stories are true, if people are just wanting to mess with us or what, but apparently it was supposedly a nursing home at some point in time, but
that's kind of creepy.
I don't know. You hear all kinds of stories. And then whenever the film actually came out, like all these people, I don't know how many people have lived in this house, but it just seemed like I just kept getting messages and emails from people saying, yeah, my grandfather lived there, or, oh, I lived there for a little bit, or I grew up there. It's really weird. Like how many people, like, it's like so many people are associated with that house. It's just, it was just very odd.
There's a lot of energy in that house. So it's probably haunted.
If those walls could talk, could talk.
We need to send Zach Baggins there.
There you go.
That's funny. So now that you did the 13 Slays, do you have anything else that you're working on or that you have ideas on that you're wanting to get done?
Well, I have a script for that that teaser trailer I told you about called Meth House. It's about these kids that stumble across a lair of these crazy meth heads, and they're like, it's a pretty wild story. See, in our area, it's a large farming community, and one of the ingredients they use here in the area, which I know it varies from region to region, but they use anhydrous ammonia in their manufacturing of methamphetamine, which anhydrous is like a fertilizer.
Oh.
And it's very, very deadly. Like if you inhale it, like it seeks moisture and all that stuff. So like my story is basically these meth heads are at war with these farmers, and these meth heads are like deformed creatures, and there's like this evil meth chemist guy, and just it's all kinds of craziness. So I would like to get it made, but funding's always a factor. So
yeah. Oh yeah, that's always the hardest part, is the funding.
Yeah. And especially, I mean, we shot the teaser trailer for Meth House in 2018, so I really need to probably go back and revisit the script again and see if there's some updates I need to make, because I think cell phones have changed and all that. It's amazing. You don't think about like how much stuff has changed since 2008 till you like really start to look at stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, no one does that anymore.
Yeah. Well, every year it's changing too. It's like, every few months a damn new phone comes out, and it's so funny. You can totally tell the time period because, like even the old cell phones, like the old flip phones, you're like, that's bullshit. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, my wife, she's been watching One Tree Hill, and I'm not into it, but I'll come in and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember, like having, clothes like that, or, using a
Mm-hmm.
cell phone like that. And it's like, man, you forget about some of the older stuff you used to use like that. And it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it's been that long, but
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I agree. Well, it's even like depressing. I don't know your age, but it's like depressing when you think back to some of the things that you used to do as a kid and you're like, that was a long, long fucking time ago. That means I'm old.
yeah. Well, I was, there's a friend of mine, there's a friend of mine that has a wrestling podcast I'm going to be doing this week. And,
Oh, cool.
he wanted me to like do a match. Like we're going to talk about a match with his girlfriend and for his podcast. And he asked me what match I wanted to do. And I said, Bash at the Beach 98. And I was sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, 1998. Like that's, that's been over 20 years ago. It's like,
Yeah.
crazy to think, I mean, it doesn't seem like that long ago, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage and those guys were,
Mm-hmm.
wrestling, and, it's just crazy to think time's flown that fast on that type of stuff.
Oh yeah, big time. It's crazy. So do you have anybody that you look up to as far as horror? So I'm assuming horror is your favorite genre.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love horror. And well, I love historical movies too, like especially like Civil War or American Revolutionary War era stuff. I'm like a history nut. But yeah, as far as like who I look up to and especially horror, I love classic horror. That's probably my favorite time period, like Tom Browning, James Whale, directors like that. And then, my favorite actor is Lon Chaney, Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
Let's see, Unholy Three. I mean, there's so many movies that, he's done, and in the short span that, he was doing motion pictures, it's just amazing some of the stuff that he done or did and created, especially as far as makeup effects. But
Mm-hmm.
the one that really got me motivated to start making films was Eli Roth. I
Yeah.
remember when Hostel first came out, like everybody was talking about it. It was like, the Blair Witch of when I was in high school was, Hostel. Like everyone
Mm-hmm.
was like talking about crazy and gross, and you're not going to believe what you watch, which compared to what you see today, it's like nothing. But
Yeah.
I remember seeing it and just being blown away by the real life horror that Eli portrayed in it. So ever since then, it just kind of hooked me. So I've always been a huge fan of his. And some people don't notice this, but at the very beginning of the film, whenever it shows the new family that's just moved in, they're named the Roth family. So
Oh, okay. Now that you
so
say it, yeah, I never would
yeah,
have put that
so
together though.
yeah, so I did that in honor of him, because like I said, if it
That's
wasn't for
cool.
him making Hostel, I don't know if it would have pushed me to be able to be a filmmaker or not.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. I
Yeah,
didn't know for the longest time that Eli Roth was the director of that, which
yeah.
stupid. I mean, I should have known that, but it's, that was one that really I was just some of those scenes are holy shit. I
Oh
can't even
yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, you just can't believe what you're seeing. Like
Mm-hmm.
probably the scene that like shocked me, like one of the scenes that shocked me the most, which wasn't even one of the most gory scenes, is whenever the candy kids, whenever they're running from the bad guys, and they have the candy kids like stop the bad guys, and they start beating them up, and then that one kid takes a rock and bashes in the guy's head, and it actually dents in. I was just like,
It's so
oh my
gross.
gosh, I've never seen anything like, I mean, it wasn't like, like a cheap splatter effect. I mean, it actually dented in. And I was just like, oh my gosh, was that like, I had to play it back. I was like, it's
In slow
crazy.
motion. Was that real?
Yeah. Wow, that's
Is this a
nuts.
snuff film?
Yeah. Like, what is this? Like, this is nuts. So, I mean, after seeing that, it took away like the horror of just being just, like a Freddy or Jason or,
Hmm.
Ghostface or anything like that. And like, put the horror back into like real life horror, and just kind of inspired me to take my fears, which peer pressure and like not wanting to disappoint or abandon your friends are, fears that I had back when we did Unlisted Owner. That's where the whole peer pressure of, come on guys, let's break into this crime scene. Okay, your friends are in a crime scene. Do you bail on them and they're going to get in trouble, or do you just try to get them out of there and hope no one notices? Like,
Hmm.
when you're at one of those crossroads, it's like one of those situations where you're just like, don't know what to do. Like, how did I end up in this situation? Like, everything was going so great, and now we're here. So that's
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
And then later realize I should have just listened to my gut and not fucking
Yeah.
gone in.
Yeah. I shouldn't listen to Tyler and Gavin, those guys.
Yeah, no kidding. So Gavin plays an asshole. Is he really an asshole or is he nice?
No, he's a super great guy. He's one of my, it's funny because like Tyler and Gavin both, they're two of my closest friends, and they both stood up with me at my wedding and stuff. And
Aw.
Tyler told me that he always wanted to, like, he's like, I want to play like a douchebag type guy. And Gavin's like, oh, I'll play one too. So that's kind of how we just kind of wrote the parts. And they really played well. And I
Yeah.
mean, people tell me all the time, they're like, I just want to punch my TV screen. I hated those guys so much.
They're jerks.
Yeah.
But they did good,
But
they acted the
yeah,
part. They did great.
yeah. Yeah, and the whole premise with that is that, me, Tyler, Griffin, and Gavin were like, we're best friends. We used to tear up the town, used to go out and party all the time. Well, now Jed and Griffin have these two girlfriends, and they're taking away all the fun. They're ruining all the good times that us four used to have. So now Tyler and Gavin are going to try to either make the girls break up with us, or basically they're trying to make us choose. It's either us or them. You pick, and we're going to pressure. We want to keep you guys, so we're going to make these girls not want to, be with you. So that's why we're going to make you guys, go to this house. That's why we're going to break in, and hopefully you'll shake these girls, and then we can just be the four of us again, just tearing up the town. And that's kind of like the whole premise of it. Of like, and they just keep, each little stunt they do, they just keeps getting, worse and worse and worse until it's like, okay, you can't turn back now.
Yeah. Yep. Now you're all screwed.
Now we're in the house and we don't know what to do.
Yep. Was this your first time acting, or had you acted prior to that?
I acted in the Meth House thing that we had shot, and then I used to do the lip sync contest locally, which is kind of random. Yeah, from like third grade all the way till my freshman year of high school, I used to do the lip sync contest, and it would be on like local TV and stuff. But
Nice.
other than that, though, I had never done any type of acting. But I actually just acted in a film. I guess it's been over a year ago, but it hasn't released yet. It's called Trick and Treats. I had a small role in it. It has Malcolm McDowell in it, so I'm pretty excited for that one to come out.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that one.
Okay. That's awesome. Hell yeah. I saw that on your IMDb. I just didn't know if it was your film or if it was someone else's.
No, it's Heroic Age Studios out of Decatur, Mount Zion, Illinois. It's where they're out of. And it was kind of weird. I was on Facebook and I saw this sponsored ad that had a picture of this guy. His name's Eric Hector, and Malcolm McDowell and this pumpkin, and it said Heroic Age Studios, and it gave like a write up about this trick and treat movie they were doing. So I clicked on it, and it said they were like like a little over an hour, like an hour and a half, 2 hours from me. And I'm like, holy crap! So I called them, and then they end up being they were cast in a little small role, and I auditioned for it and got the part. So it was pretty cool to, thanks. Yeah. And Malcolm voices a character, and he's actually not there physically. He just provides the voice. So, but the thing he provides, the jackliner he provides the voice for, is actually in the scene with me. So it's kind of cool. So quasi in a scene with Malcolm McDowell, I guess.
Yeah. That's super cool. So being in the scene, even though it was just the voice, did they put him in the scene with you so you guys could act off of each other, or no?
No, it was, I'm not exactly sure how they're going to do it. Like as far as like me having like a conversation with him, that didn't happen, but I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do the rest of it, but I'm pretty excited about it. It should be pretty awesome. I saw a little bit whenever I went up there that day to shoot. They had a little bit of the beginning. I think it was the beginning part or some sequence of the film. They had added some special effects in, and I was like, wow, this is going to be pretty awesome. So nice. I can't wait to see it. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's with this whole COVID thing, like once again, it's like, how much it's going to delay that, but yeah, hopefully everything can get back to normal.
I sure hope so. It's like, I don't even do that much, but it's like when you can't do anything, it seems worse. It's like, I just want to go to the movies.
Yeah.
So bad.
Movies. or even a convention. I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah.
supposed to do Days of the Dead in Indianapolis in July, and they haven't canceled it yet. But I'm afraid, if they may cancel it, or if they don't cancel it, what's the how many people are
Yes.
actually going to be able to go, and
Hmm.
even have money to be able to buy movies,
Yep.
T-shirts, autographs or anything like that. That's the
Hmm.
other scary part. I mean, there's a flip side of it, risking possibly the virus coming back, but then also at the same time, if and if they don't cancel it, you go and then no one shows up. It's like
Yeah.
you're just kind of don't know what to do. Just kind of sit and wait and see how the first convention goes, I guess.
Yeah. It's crazy how much has gotten affected, I mean,
Yeah,
so many things. It's insane. Um,
yeah.
so
About the only good thing that came out of is people sitting at home watching movies. But
very true. That is true. So everybody, you need to check out Unlisted Owner.
yeah, there you go. There you go. Get it on Blu-ray though. Get it on Blu-ray.
It's much better that way on
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
there you go.
So you did write the script, but is any of it improv? Did you kind of give them like a baseline to go off of, and you guys just kind of played off of each other, or how did that go?
A lot of it is very close to the original lines. There was
Dang.
one sequence that we ad-libbed, and that was because the night that we were actually filming, um, I had it set up to where we were going to shoot that day. We were going to shoot setting up the tents, and then that night we were going to shoot the night scene where we were all sitting around the campfire, and Gavin talks us all into going back and visiting the house. Well, Andrea apparently misunderstood me, and she still didn't ask off for the entire day from work. She only asked off for the night. So
Oh.
I'm like, okay. So we shot this night scene. Well, Gavin and Tyler said that they were just going to stay the night there in the tents. I wanted to get all the tents taken down, get everything put back in the right, proper areas. And they said, no, we're going to hang out here tonight, And the next morning was the shoot the big shoot. We were going to have the police, ambulance, bystanders, all that stuff. And I said, I'm going home getting rest because I know tomorrow's going to be a very big, stressful day.
Mhm.
So ends up they didn't even stay at the tents. They went out partying somewhere.
Oh shit.
And so in the next day, as you could see in the footage, it was like 20-mile-an-hour winds like all day long. So I had to have one of the guys who plays one of the firefighters, Ryan Schaefer. I had to have him go down to the campsite, tear down all the tents so stuff didn't just blow away. Well,
Hmm.
whenever he did that, everything got put in different bags. I had no clue what tent stuff went with what. So whenever it came time to shoot the setting up tents stuff, we had no clue what went to what. So all the stuff we had written wasn't going to work. So we just basically came up with the sequence, which we already knew that Gavin and Tyler were going to leave, but we didn't know like what we were going to do before they left or what would make them leave. So we just kind of came up with that whole sequence, and Griffin gets shoved out of the chair and all that.
Hmm. And he all falls back, poor guy.
Yeah. So that was the most improv I think of the whole movie was that right there.
Dang. You guys all
Yeah,
played off of each other really good. So I thought maybe you
yeah.
guys just kind of rolled with it and just,
There
but
was, like I said, I mean,
it's good.
it wasn't like the whole movie wasn't word for word script. I mean, there was a little bit of ad libbing here and there, but I mean, as far as like the main source material, I mean, a lot of the lines were pretty spot on. I think when we did the whole scene, we were sitting around the campsite, there was a couple times that was like ad libbed. I think the bottom of the barrel thing was ad lib. That was like a little bit of ad lib back and forth. So, but for the most part, it was pretty spot on.
Nice. You guys did great. That's cool. And it's really neat that you guys were friends for so long. That's cool
Yeah,
that you guys could all be in a feature film together. You
yeah.
guys did so well together. It's awesome.
Yeah, and the way I look at it now is that at that point in time, I mean, we were still just young guys, young people just having fun, and then after that, I mean, Tyler's married, has let's see, ooh, 4 kids, and then
You
I'm
have to
married.
count them.
I had to count. I had to. Well, he just had a little one here recently, and then I just got married, or well, I got married a couple years back, and now I have a little boy, and it's just an Andrea. She's married with 2 kids, so it's just amazing, like how much everything has changed since we did that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, you
Yeah.
all grew up.
Yeah, we all grew up. Yeah, I kind of look at it like that was our last hurrah before we became adults.
hmm Do you think that you'll do another film with all of them again, like a kind of a reunion?
Uh, I don't know. It was hard enough to get Tyler and Gavin. We did a Facebook AMA the other day, and it was hard enough just to get them to be able to do that. So
Oh.
I don't know. Probably not, but I'm hopeful that maybe we'll
hmm
be able to sometime. But and same with Andrea. She's got a life of her own now, so I don't know if she'd want to put on the acting boots back on again and get
hmm
right into it or not. Levi Atkins, that plays the killer, I know he would be game to do something like that, but I don't know about the rest of the cast.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer. So are you the only one
Yep.
that continued to act or did?
Yeah, for the most part, anyways. I'm trying to think if anybody else in the movie. Levi, he's said, I don't know if he's done any stage acting or anything like that. Or Mark Nation Ellis that played the dad, he did a little bit of stage acting. But as far as like movie stuff, I'm pretty much the only one that kind of moved on from it.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
I guess
that's
everyone
sad.
else got, doing the real job thing and
Yeah.
all that. I mean, it does take a lot of time with this. I mean, it takes a lot of time away from stuff to be able to promote your movie and be able to write and, get
hmm
everything set up to shoot. I mean, there's a lot of time that goes into it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
And
money.
the older you get, yeah, and money, and the older you get, time and money sometimes gets smaller and smaller, especially whenever you get a family and it starts, your household starts growing.
Yep. At least you only got one though right now instead of four.
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine
yeah.
that.
Yeah, be a little hectic.
All right.
You can see my house shirt now. Do you?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Were
Do
you
you
wearing
like
that?
house too?
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
badass. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. When I was a kid, I always used to call it Jesse and the Mummy because I didn't know what to call it because you didn't have TV Guide. I mean, well, I guess you had to look at the book, but
hmm
I didn't know what it was called. But yeah, I love that movie.
Like, have you seen that movie, Jesse and the Mummy?
Yeah, I know. Well, it's one of those things like when you see stuff as a kid and then you don't know what it's called. There's three movies that's always troubled me as a kid. I couldn't figure out what it was called. This was one. The other one was Krill that has Liam Neeson in it. And there's another one I have no idea what it is. And every time I describe it to people, they think I'm nuts. So I don't know. Maybe I just dreamed it as a kid. But so 2 out of 3 isn't bad though.
Yeah. Well, there's this one movie that I can't remember I don't know what it's called. I've tried Google searching like the one scene I remember, and I've never found anything on it. It wasn't a horror movie. It was just a weird movie, and I have no clue what it is.
Yeah, mine is like, I don't know, this kid is with this monster type thing that was under his bed, and then like they go downstairs and there's like these monsters downstairs, I guess, and then somehow like something happens where the monsters all start like melting and stuff. I have no clue. It's not
Little
the witches.
Monsters.
Is that Little Monsters? Is that
Little
does that happen?
Monsters.
Well,
Yeah, with Howie Mandel.
Wow. Well, I'm 3 for 3 then, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
I'm like, oh, I totally know that shit. Yeah.
Well, I'll have to check it out then.
Yeah, it's on right now. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is, but I think it is because I was watching it probably a few weeks ago.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. So that scene's in it where they go downstairs and then they all start melting or whatever?
Yeah, because they flip on lights. So they're actually downstairs, like in the monsters underground place or whatever. And they go through it from under the bed, right?
I think
Yep.
so, yeah.
And then the light turns on. They turn all the lights on because they're trying to kill him is what it is. And they all like start melting and shit.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to watch this.
Yeah, hopefully
Thanks.
I'm right, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it. So
Fred Savage.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's Little Monsters.
Yeah. So I'll have to because the only thing I remember is that little boy and then the monster, and then they went down, and then there's So, okay. Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah, see? Aren't you glad you came on?
I know, right? I solve mysteries.
Yep. Like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
All right. So now is the time when we give when you give your shout outs if you want to, where to find you, your social media, your YouTube, where they can find your movie, anything that you want to give thanks or shout out to. Now is your time.
I'll give a shout out to my wife, Cassandra, and my son, Jace. And I don't know, Jace may be in bed now. I don't know. Yeah, it's past his bedtime, so he should be in bed now. But, everybody who's supported me, it's, I really appreciate all the support. Everyone checking out Unlisted Owner, liking us on Facebook and all that stuff. I mean, it's great whenever people, send you messages and, post pictures of your movie, them watching your movie and stuff. There's no better feeling than that. So I want to thank everybody for that. If you want to check out Unlisted Owner, probably the best way to support me it would be if you purchase the Blu-ray from either Amazon or makeflix.com. That's J.R. Bookwalter's company. He did the film Dead Next Door, Robot Ninja. He's also done some Charles Brand movies and stuff like that. So,
cool.
So if someone wants to pick up a copy of that on Blu-ray, hopefully we'll see how this COVID thing goes, but I'll hopefully be at some conventions this year. But you want to check out Unlisted Owner on Facebook, just type in Unlisted Owner and search it. It should pop right up. And then on Twitter at Unlisted Owner. And then you can also follow me on Twitter at Mr. Jed Bryan. And then also on Instagram, it's at Mr. JED_Brian, BRIAN. So be sure to follow me on there. We may be doing some more contests. We did a couple of Unlisted Owner giveaways last week. We did an AMA, and we may be doing, depending on how much longer this lasts, we may do another one just to get people some entertainment. And if anyone has any questions, they want to know, anything about the movie, just follow us on social media, and we'll have some announcements soon, I'm sure.
Nice. Hell yeah. And I'll add those links down below too when I upload it to YouTube.
All right. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you having me on. It was great coming on and being able to solve a childhood mystery and
see? Now you have a movie to go watch.
Yeah, there you go.
Relive your childhood.
Yes, there we go.
So real quick, I'm just going to do a couple shout outs real fast. I want to thank Crazy Ink Publishing for publishing my books, Broken Halo and Broken Halo Blood Curse on Amazon. Matthew Price Thompson with MPT Graphics that does my artwork. Johnny Daggers, who owns Dagger Vision Films. He did my intro. He does music for me, and he did my logo. My Indie Productions I'm one of their artists on their website. They support all kinds of indie directors, producers, actors, musicians. They're amazing. So check out myindieproductions.com. They're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything. Chris Atella, who does my intro music, outro music, does the music for iTunes, Spotify, all of that good stuff. And Bud Vino and Horror with Sir Sturdy. They are both podcasters, and they're just absolutely amazing. So check them out. And also Christopher Inlow, who is he's my part-time co-host. So I want to thank him as well. And with that, I'm all like, blah, 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 like trying to say it. All right. And with
I understood everything.
I think I hit them all. All right. And with that, we are done. So thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, thank you very much. So where are you out of?
I'm Boise, Idaho.
Idaho. Wow. Mm-hmm. You're the first podcast in Idaho I've talked to. So
really easy. And yeah. I solved your movie mystery. So look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, because like I said, that one's always like, I always saw that one. It's one of those things like as a kid, I saw that one little clip, and then It was like, don't know what it was, because it wasn't like we had satellite, where you could just click and say, oh, it's that movie. So
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Krill, it took me forever to figure out Krill. I don't know if you ever seen it or not.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
It is Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings meets Xena Warrior Princess.
Huh.
Just because the guy who's the main character, he has this, Xena had that little like boomerang thing she always
Uh-huh.
threw or whatever. He has something similar. It's like more like a star that has knives on it that he throws, and yeah.
Oh shit.
And there's a cyclops. I mean, it's weird. You talk about, I mean, it's
There's a cyclops.
oh, it's weird. It's weird. And he's a normal size cyclops. He's just a normal guy, and he has like goggles. It
Uh-huh.
looks like they had to put goggles on him, and then they put the prosthetic eye that blinked. Like, I mean, like
Ew.
his eyes like stick out like probably like an inch from his face. Like his the rest, it's just kind of. I mean, you just got to see it.
And it blinks.
It's out there. It's out there. It's out there.
I'll have to watch it for sure. I'll add it to my list of things I need to check out.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I had one of my friends watch it, and he goes, "What did I just watch?" And I'm like, "Exactly." Yeah, Liam Neeson's first movie. So.
Oh, cool.
And
Okay.
he's not even the main character in it. He's just like kind of like I don't know, maybe like a third character or something.
Wow.
Like, yeah,
He's
carries
come a
around
long
a big
way.
battle axe, I think. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Since that movie.
Yeah, no kidding. I will check that one out then for sure. It sounds interesting.
Well, I
Cool.
appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and watch the movie twice. I really appreciate that. So,
Yeah, you're welcome. You did really good. It was a good movie, so I was excited to get you on.
well, thanks. I'm glad because, gosh, sometimes those ones where it's like they haven't seen it, it just sometimes it gets a little bumpy a little bit, you know, and
Yeah,
like
they
you
don't
can
know what
tell
the hell
that
they're talking about.
it's a little bit generic in some of the questions. So I was very pleased to hear that you watched it. One time I did an interview with this girl from the UK, and she had like conspiracy theories on it of like what happened and stuff and who was the actual killer. And I'm just like, oh my,
Dang.
she's asking me questions. I'm like, I didn't even thought that far ahead. Like,
You're like, I have no freaking clue.
yeah, yeah. So
That's
yeah, so
awesome.
I've had interviews all over the place. So
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I'm super glad you came on. It was fun.
yeah, thanks. And sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm sure you can edit that out.
Oh,
So
totally. Yeah, it happens. You're not
yeah,
the
my
first time.
computer booted up fine. So I don't know what the deal was with that. That was just very weird. So
Who
I don't know if it was
knows?
because I was running Zoom and something else in the background. I don't know, but
It's
maybe it was a
probably
Zoom
somebody
ghost.
probably somebody trying to Zoom bomb you.
Yeah,
Your
it may
computer's
have
like,
been.
nope.
May have been.
Awesome. All right. Well, I will talk to you soon. I'll message you and let you know. And I'll obviously tag you so then you'll know
Okay.
kind of the promotional stuff that's coming out.
Okay, perfect. Hey, have a
Awesome.
great night.
You
Thanks
too.
again.
And I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right. Bye.